already.
Come on, guys, where's the energy? Just aid.
Let's see. What I'm passing out here is basically some tips on doing your PowerPoint presentations. If you're doing it, well, they have to do PowerPoint, right? So this is just to guide you in doing your PowerPoints, specifically things that you should avoid doing. There's a lot of things you can do, but there are certain things that you just should not do. So we're going to discuss this just for a couple minutes. Oh, you guys need some. Hold on. That's for Beth and James, those two. Yeah, pass that back. Messing up the rotation.
Here.
Is that it, Ariel? Alright. How many of you have done a PowerPoint before? So all of you. Alright. It's good that you have some experience. Hopefully this can just enhance what you already know. So number one, common thing that people who do PowerPoints commonly do for whatever reason is they turn the lights on. I guess because they think, or they dim the lights. I guess because they want to draw more attention to the actual screen. But what this fails to realize is that I guess a real presentation, I mean the worth of your presentation, how good it is going to depend on how well you yourself are connecting with your audience. It's not all about the information, or we would just read your information. It's your ability to connect with the people. So you don't want to be in the dark, obviously. Number two is probably the most common one. 2 and 3. 2 is too many bullets. Too many bullets on your slides. Basically, people tend to do this when they have a fear that they're not going to remember everything, or that they're not going to be able to share. They're going to forget some pertinent information. They don't have enough trust in themselves to be able to just speak on speaking points. So instead, they put like everything on a slide, which is not necessary. It's going to negatively impact your presentation if you do that. All right, basically you just want to have a couple solid speaking points that you should be well knowledge about, that you can just speak about it without having all the information on there for yourself to read. All right. Number 3, another very common one. Do not read your PowerPoint word for word. I mean, basically, no one wants to listen to someone read. I mean, again, this comes back to your ability to connect with the audience. We all can read, so I mean, we can look at the screen and read what's on the screen. So by you reading what's on your screen, it's redundant actually, because we can look up and read what's on the screen. We don't need to be read to, as if you're reading a story or something like that. So again, this kind of ties back to number 2 in that you want to just have speaking points so that you don't have to just read. A lot of times this comes from people who are not prepared in their presentation. You may have put all the information on there, but you haven't really prepared your presentation. So in fear, you just read everything that's on the screen. All right. Definitely don't want to do that. Number 4, this usually happens when you do number 2, when you have too many bullets, is your font. I mean, it shouldn't be so small that the people who are in the audience can't read the screen. All right, and this usually happens with people who put whole paragraphs under bullet points, because that just makes your font smaller when you do that. The more information is on your slide, the smaller the font will be. So basically, I mean, the less points you have on your slides, the better. long as you are still talking about all the relevant information. All right. Number 5 pertains more to all the fancy stuff. I mean, I think this really goes along with your choice, but you can overdo it when it comes to like animation and graphics and stuff like that, and your transitions. Transitions are just like how the slides go from one slide to the next. But I mean, keep it basic. I mean, be creative, but don't overdo it. Basically, the whole focus should not be on like graphics. Like when you pull your slide up, my attention shouldn't be like drawn to the artwork. You know what I mean? Like that's really just supposed to kind of complement the other stuff in your slides. Now, if you are going to use graphics, now this is, I mean, this isn't like the Bible here, but this suggests that if you are going to use graphics, you should probably use real photographs, not always use like animation. I think it even refers to that as being like outdated, and I think it uses the word lame. But I mean, I don't see too much of a problem with using like graphics. But it is better though when you have like real pictures and things. So if you're going to do real pictures, those are the formats you should probably use to do that. JPEG, etc. Then lastly, you guys may not have this in your presentations, but it's good to have a handout that kind of complements or supplements your presentation. What you don't want to do is just hand out your slides. I mean, we see our professors do this all the time, but for your presentation, you don't need to come in and hand us your slides, basically. If you are going to have a handout, maybe just have like an outline or kind of like a summary of your slides, but not just the slides itself. All right. Again, your ability to speak about the stuff is what's most important, not your ability to just get information. All right. So pretty self-explanatory things, but you'd be surprised at the mistakes that people make. All right. So, anyone have any questions about PowerPoint? All right. Good luck in creating your PowerPoint.